from that because everything's already written. The changes in the scriptures. If you want to read about the change, you got to read the scriptures, man. Go on, brother.
So verse 7, so Ezekiel 33 and 7. So thou, O son of man, I have set thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore thou shalt hear the word at my mouth and warn them from me.
And that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to warn the people from the Heavenly Father. Beginning with the tribes, Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Simeon, Zebulun, Ephraim, all the way down to Issachar. Okay? Which are these people today, which we're giving, this is their slave names. Okay? So we're here to warn them from the Lord. So what we got going on here is much more purposeful. Go on.
Even when Yahushua was on the scene 2,000 years ago, you had zealots, which they were about overthrowing the Roman Empire, but
nice.
they were doing it through violence,
Right.
and they would always get shut down, arrested, crucified, beheaded, or shot through because that wasn't the way.
Exactly.
That was an empty way, you know, of trying to overthrow the enemy.
Exactly.
That's why Yahushua said unto Peter, he that liveth by the sword will die by the sword. Because the way to overthrow the wicked one is through his word.
Exactly. Yes. Exactly. And do his word. I'm so glad the brother brought that out. The young lion brought that out because that's the point, man. Because the Zealots, their thing was is to throw down the government of Rome, but they couldn't throw down the government of Rome. Why? Because that's not the will of the Lord. The will of the Lord was for Yahushua to die on that cross, and that's what they thought. That's why you had certain zealots that followed the Lord, because they thought the Lord was on that zealot shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That Black Panther, you know, that today's Black Panther type of shit.
Yeah.
But that's not what the Lord is dealing with. The Lord has his plans in order.
Yeah.
Okay? So going back 2,000 years ago, just to elaborate what he's saying, Yahushua was simply to wake up the children of Israel, the elect of the children of Israel, which came the disciples and other men that followed him, right? And then down the cross, so that the whole nation can be reconciled. All right, but it all began with the elect. Go on, bro.
2 Corinthians 10 and 3 says, for though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh.
Right.
For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal,
right,
but mighty through power to the pulling. But mighty through Yahweh to the pulling down of strongholds.
Right, but the pulling down of strongholds. So that's our fight. Our fight is spiritual. See, these people out here, like the zealots of the past, they looked at it as a carnal situation. We're going to take down the Roman Empire. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. And they always got overthrown. Why is that? Because that simply wasn't the will of the Most High. All right, the will of the Most High and everything that's written is this is it right here. This is the change right here. So protesting and other things outside of this, it's not going to work. It never did, and it never will. Somebody give me that. Okay, go on.
It says, verse 5 says, casting down imaginations and everything that exalteth itself against the knowledge of Yahweh, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Hamashiach.
Exactly. So that's what we're here to do. And while we're doing that, the Most High is going to do what he got to do and bring it in the end of the world. So we're here to pretty much cast out the lies. Get on certain caps when they're going off. Like we normally do in Great Millstone. Speak about the RFID microchip. Okay, you got camps that are saying that the RFID chip is sleeping with white women. Or it's Christianity.
Embargo.
Or it's an embargo. Right? So we're set up to pretty much do away with that nonsense. Or if you got some Edomite Christian, okay, some Edomite Christian coming with this nonsense about how the Lord looked like an Edomite, we're supposed to bun that, and we're supposed to do away with that. And show and prove that what Esau's bringing out, or whoever is opposing the truth, to confirm that what we have is the truth and that they're wrong. Okay, go on, brother.
So John 18 and 36, Yahushua answered, my kingdom is not of this world.
Right.
If my kingdom were of this world, then my servants fight.
Right, so if Yahushua was here right now, we would be fighting. We'd be kicking butt. But that's not the case. The scripture says, wait ye upon me until I rise up to the grave. So that's what we gotta do. So meanwhile, as we're doing all of this stuff, the Most High is doing his thing. And you know, when we get home, brothers, we're gonna start seeing more news articles on how Esau's wickedness is increasing. And that's Esau, that's the Most High bringing in the end of the world. Because see what the Most High is doing, like I said a couple of weeks ago, the Most High is building the case on Esau, right? Once that case is all built up, now there's a reason for the Most High to set judgment down. All right.
You went straight to the point.
Yeah. Come.
Second Thessalonians 2 and 7 says, for the mystery of iniquity doth already work.
Beautiful, yeah.
That's right.
Only he who now letteth will let, until he be taken out of the way.
Exactly. So the Most High got to reveal this man's iniquity, and then therefore he's going to take him out of the way. Yahweh is going to take this man out of the way through his son Yahushua. That's the real change right there. Now we're talking about the real deal. Okay. That's just the thing. So at the end of the day, like I said, what we're doing, brothers. See, here's the difference on what the masses of the people are doing that are in the world and what we're doing. What we're doing holds more weight and it's more substantial because we're doing it because of the cause of the Most High. They're doing it for their own vain cause. All right, because what they got going on is in their mind and their thought is, well, if we could keep protesting by the majority of the people, then we may change the world. Nah, you ain't gonna change the world like that. Go on, bro.
This is Isaiah 63 and 1.
All right.
Isaiah 63 and 1. Who is this that cometh from
You
Edom?
almost hit him in his eye, man. You gotta be careful with that, brother. Go on, bro.
Who is Isaiah 63 and 1? Who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Bosra?
Yeah.
This that is glorious in his apparel,
Yep.
traveling in the greatness of his strength. I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save.
Exactly, mighty to save. So the point being is that Yahushua is going to come down here and set the tone, change the world. You're not going to have no Negro coming out of the midst of the hood or the midst of the suburbs, wherever he's coming from, and he's simply going to change the world. No. There's going to be an angelic force, right? And he's not going to come as a man, Yahushua. He's going to come out of the heavens, and he's going to change the world. That's who's going to be doing the changing of the world. Yahushua.
That's right.
The people are not going to change nothing. Not a damn thing. Go on, bro.
Back in 2 Thessalonians 2, verse 8 says, and then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth,
Exactly.
and shall destroy the brightness of his coming.
So how is that wicked man being revealed? By us, the prophets. We're showing him, according to prophecies, this is what he's going to do, or this is what he has done. And we're revealing this man to the world and what he's really all about. And this is why you have a lot of Israelites that are waking up. And you even got the average Jakes that are waking up and they realizing that these devils, these Edomites are the devils, man.
That's right.
Okay? They're realizing this. Why? Because it all began with the word of the Lord. Now you got all of these other Hebrew Israelite camps, they may go off on a couple of few things. Alright, but the main thing that they do pushes is that we're the Israelites and Esau's the devil. So that's giving Jake that idea, okay, right. I see what the deal is. So when I'm working with these people, I know how to deal with them. I know what to expect from them. I know they don't like me, but I don't like them. But I'm gonna have to just work with them. Alright, and I'm talking about Jakes in the world. Go on, bro.
Verse 9 it says, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth that they might be saved.
Right. That's it. That's it, because they receive not the love of the truth that they might be saved. And Esau don't love the truth. The truth ain't for Esau. What's for Esau is the sword and his deception that he uses on the people, and that's his way of governing the planet as he's doing. Alright? And they weren't set up to be saved anyway. Go on, bro.
Isaiah chapter 47, verse 3. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered.
Right.
Yea, thy shame shall be seen.
Right.
I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man.
Right.
And that's what Yahushua is doing. When he comes back, he's not going to meet these crackers as a man. No? When he first was on the scene, he had a baptism to do, and he was meek and humble. When he comes back, he's going to be like a war machine. All right?
Yep. Exactly. So the Most High, he's going to send his son back down here, and like I said, that's where everything's going to come. And also, what's going to change the world for good is the fear of the Lord, because there's no fear of the Lord on this earth.
Right.
So that's another thing. That's another thing that's going to change the world. It's the fear of the Lord. All right. All of this protesting and wasting your time and putting up these stupid placards, you ain't gonna get nothing from that. And as a matter of fact, the powers that be, the elite, they plan on committing genocide on your asses, man.
Yeah.
They plan on exterminating your asses. That's what they want to do. That's just the way of the rock, man. You know?
Because I was watching one of the throwback videos from the Apostles last night, and where this was even before they were on the YouTube. It was one where they went to concentration camps, and the Apostles were bringing out documents back in 2005. How, you know, these are martial law troops, they've got orders to shoot grandmas in the head.
Right.
Shit, little kids, little babies. People, they've got orders to throw people in concentration camps. So on and so forth.
Right.
And they was doing that back in, I believe it was from 95 to 96. Where Clinton was in office, they were talking about that situation, about how to, you know, pass a certain law and how to put people in, so that it can be okay for the government to put people in concentration camps. All right. So that's what the government has in store for the people. I'm talking about the U.S. government, to be exact. That's what they want to do. So you really think that they're going to take heed of the people and listen to them? No, man. These are the same people they want to hoard in the camps and reprogram their asses, torture their asses. Go on, bro.
1 Corinthians 15 and 25, it says, "For he must reign till he have put all enemies under his feet. Till the last enemy that shall be destroyed is death."
Right.
24.
So I'll start to read that again. 1 Corinthians 15 and 24. Then cometh the end, when he shall have delivered up the kingdom to Yahweh, even the Father.
Yeah. So Yahweh Shah is going to deliver the kingdom to the Father, because the Father wants the kingdom to be set up, but he's going to be the vessel to bring forth the kingdom. Go on, bro.
When he shall have put down rule and all of authority and power.
Right, when he shall put down all rule and all authority and all power, because you have the powers which people are unaware of. People know that there's a power structure, but they still believe, because of the brainwashing that came from the media, oh, we live in a democratized society. A democratized society. Sorry, I said it the wrong way. Right? But what they don't realize is more of a plutocratic system. Okay? So you have powers, and the Most High is going to send his son Yahushua down to pursue those powers, break those powers apart, so that he can establish his power and his exaltation and his glorification on the earth. Give me the book of Daniel, brother. The book of Daniel, chapter 2, verse 40. Start from verse 46. Go on.
Yeah, just reading on. It says, verse 25, "For he must reign till he have put all enemies under his feet."
Right. That he must reign until he put all enemies under his feet. As it says in the scriptures, until he make all of his enemies as his footstool. So when Yahweh Shai puts all of his enemies under his feet, what does that mean? We're gonna be hires to the kingdom, and we're gonna be pretty much giving orders to the other nations, and they can't do nothing about it. And if they try to do something about it, then they just gonna be put to death. All right? Because we're gonna have a rulership that cannot be distorted or removed. Go on.
Verse 26, "The last enemy that shall be destroyed is death. For he hath put all things under his feet.
Right.
But when he saith all things are put under him, it is manifest that he is accepted. Christ did put all things under him."
Exactly, in death, because he mastered death. So if we endure to the end, what are we going to do through the word of the Lord? We're going to master death. All right, that's why it says death will have no sting over us. All right, so we're going to enter into the realms of immortality. All right, as what Paul was speaking about. Paul was speaking about a thing of immortality, meaning not dying, living forever. So that's the world we're going to enter into. And then Esau, it's going to be another world for him. He's going to live in the world of death and hell and destruction and demise.
That's right.
And pain. See? Go on, bro.
So Job 20 and 23. So Job 20 and 23. When he is about to fill his belly, the Most High shall cast the fury out of his, the fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain it upon him whilst he is eating.
Right, and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. So when they're about to fulfill fully their new world order system, by administering that chip, that's when the Most High is going to bring those terrorists down, man. Those missiles are going to be brought forth from one end of the earth to the other side of the earth. Read that, bro. Yeah.
Job chapter 14 verse 5. Seeing his days are determined.
And the word determined means cut. Seeing that his days are cut. Go on.
The number of his months are with thee. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass.
Right, and I've appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. So there's an end point to his rulership.
Yeah.
So once he reaches to that end point of his rulership, there's not going to be no more.
He doesn't want to give up his power, man. You know? But the Lord's going to blast him out of power, you know?
Yeah, because when it's all said and done, what's going to happen is that once this society is destroyed, which is where it's going, which is as a current event, which cannot be altered or changed, it's going to happen. And when that happens, we're going to be in a power seat. Everything is leading up to the power seat of Jacob. All right. It says Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followed.
That's right.
That's where it's going. So everything that people have been doing for the past 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, trying to expose the government, protesting. When you look back to see the result, you're gonna look back and realize that it was a waste of time.
That's right.
Yeah.
So I might as not even did all of the work, did all of that shit in the first place anyway, because I couldn't stop the inevitable. Go on, bro.
It's going to be like it says in the chapter of Wisdom of Solomon 5:1.
I know where you're going. Yep.
They're going to look at us and be like, shit, man, we should have been doing what they were doing, because where's all our protesting and our vanity led us?
Exactly.
Yeah. Destruction.
Exactly. And if you want to get that, you can get that too, brother. Yeah, I will.
That's why the scripture says, there's a way that seemed right unto a man, but the end is death and destruction.
That's the results. So when you really look at it, brothers, no one's going anywhere. Esau, even the powers that be, they're not going anywhere. So, matter of fact, let's get that, man. Let's read that precept that I called for.
Wisdom 5:1.
Yeah.
I got it. Alright, so it says, this is Wisdom of Solomon 5:1. It says, then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the faces of such as have afflicted him and made no account of his labours. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they looked for. And repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit shall say within themselves, this was he whom we had in sometimes in division and a proverb of reproach. We fools accounted his life madness and his end to be without honour.
And that's what they thought. They always thought two things you gotta think about. They always thought that they was gonna be in power. As the scripture says, they think that their house shall continue forever. And they always thought that the tribes were never gonna wake up to who they are, and that they were always gonna remain in the lower estate, in the ghettos, in the hoods, begging for bread, selling out, doing the nigga shit that they're doing. But no. There's a new thing that they're gonna see, and it's gonna be a miraculous salvation.
That's right.
We're gonna get that in Jeremiah, if you can, brother. Get Jeremiah. What is it? 16. Yeah, read some more.
It says, we fools accounted his life madness and his end to be without honour. How is he numbered among the children of God and is not among the saints? Therefore we have erred from the way of truth.
Right, therefore we have erred from the way of truth. Go on.
And the light of righteousness have not shined unto us. And the sun of righteousness rose not upon us.
And they're going to be thinking to themselves, man, I wish that the Lord would have blessed us with this truth. How come God didn't give us this truth? Yeah, because it wasn't ordained for you to get the truth. Right. It was ordained for you to be the damn devil and the wicked that the Bible speaks about. And that was a part of your story you had to play.
That's right.
Everybody has a part of the story they have to play. All right, this life ain't nothing but a big story. Everybody has a part to play in this story. All right, and that's when they're going to realize the skullduggery and the hidden bullshit that they did throughout the ages, man. When they start to see the Messiah and they start to see the men that they look down upon be saved. Okay, that's when they're going to have a reality, what is it, a reality check? And then guess what? And the reason why they're going to have a reality check, because the spiritual demon Satan was covering their asses for so long so that they can do what they were doing in the former life. But when the spiritual demon Satan does away with them, right? That's when they're gonna have that reality check.
That's right.
All right, go on, bro.
It says, we wearied ourselves in the way of wickedness and of destruction.
Right.
Yea, we have gone through deserts
Yep.
where there lay no way.
Where they no way, yep.
But as for the way of the Lord, we have not known it. Here's the point. Verse 8, it says, what hath pride profited us?
Right.
Or what good have riches brought us and our vaunting brought us? That all those things are passed away, like as a shadow, as a post that hasteth by.
Exactly. Exactly. Go on.
As a ship that passes over the waves of the water, which when it is gone by, the trace thereof cannot be found,
Exactly.
neither the pathway of the keel of the waves. Or as when a bird flies through the air,
Yep.
and there is no token of its way to be found, but the light air being beaten by the stroke of her wings, and parted with the violent noise and motion of them, is passed through, and therein after there's no sign where she went as to where she went is to be found.
So everything that they've done up to the end point is going to be forgotten about. It's going to be without no purpose. So are they really going somewhere? They ain't going nowhere, man. They going into slavery. That's where they're going.
That's right.
That's just the point of the matter. All right. And the reason why they're doing all of this stuff is because they're under their strange delusion that the Most High chose them.
Yeah.
And Satan got their eyes covered. That's why they're doing what they're doing. But when it's all said and done, they're gonna realize, man, it was a waste of time. We should have just did what we could have did and just kept it simple. But they went all the way out because they believed that Satan was the way to cover them from the judgment of the Lord. Nope. Oh, man. And that's when all is gonna know that the Heavenly Father ruled in the kingdom of men.
That's right.
Right. Yep.
So Jeremiah 16:4, they shall die of grievous deaths, they shall not be lamented.
Now Isaiah 16:4. Yeah, that's what's gonna happen to the masses. They're gonna die grievous deaths.
The multitude perished that call in vain, man. You know? Niggas, man. I hate
So this is Isaiah 16:4. Let mine outcasts dwell with thee, Moab.
No, try 14.
So it's Isaiah 16:14. But now the Lord hath spoken, saying, within 3 years, as the years of an hireling, and the glory.
It's Jeremiah 16:14. It's a lot. It's Jeremiah 16:14.
So this is Jeremiah 16:14. It says, therefore, behold, the days come, saith the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, that it shall be no more, that it shall no more be said, the Lord liveth,
Yes.
that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. But the Lord liveth, that brought up the children, of Israel from the land of the north.
Right, that's what I'm talking about. So the reason why the salvation that's going to take place in this days and time is going to surpass Egypt because it's going to be far more miraculous, far more greater than it was before. And that's what the elite power structure is going to see. They're going to see that we were one of the sons of the living God, the living power. All right, because they always knew that we were the children of Israel. They knew this, but they wanted to believe otherwise at the same time that we were just a bunch of niggas that couldn't amount to nothing because so that they could prolong their rulership. Okay. And have the mass of the people believing that we're nothing, when we're really much more valuable than what we think we are, and that the masses think that we are.
Right. It's true.
All right, and it makes all the sense of the world because Esau studies everything, man.
Yep.
Esau studies every little thing, and Esau knows that we are the most valuable nation on the face of the earth.
Yep.
This is why he suppressed our people the most in his own economy.
Yeah.
All right, you got to think about that, man. Because all of the nations, every nation is poor, every nation is going through their little, turmoils and that. But Jacob's going through the worst turmoil. Why? Because Esau knows how good Jacob is. And what he knows is that we're the sons of the living power. Sons and daughters of the living power. Okay? So that's just the thing about that, man. Go on, bro.
All the time. So carry on. Verse so Jeremiah 16 and 15. And from all the lands whither he had driven them, and I will bring them again into their land, and I give unto their fathers.
You go on.
Verse 16. Behold,